Rome didn't fall because of one war. It didn't fall because of one enemy. It collapsed while it still looked powerful. Its borders were wide. Its armies were feared. Its currency still circulated. And yet, inside the system, decay had already won. 2,000 years later, China studied Rome carefully. America didn't. That difference may decide the future. Most people imagine Rome collapsing in flames, barbarians at the gates, cities burning, chaos everywhere. That image is wrong. Rome's real collapse was slow, invisible, and internal. At its peak, Rome controlled the Mediterranean world. Trade routes stretched across continents. Gold and silver coins moved freely. The Roman military was unmatched. But behind that strength, the system was breaking. Economic decay came first. Rome didn't run out of land. It ran out of sound money. To fund endless wars, bureaucracy, and luxury for elites, Roman leaders began debasement, mixing cheaper metals into silver coins. On paper, the empire looked rich. In reality, purchasing power collapsed. Prices rose. Trust vanished. Trade slowed. Sound familiar? Elites detached from reality. As ordinary citizens struggled, Roman elites insulated themselves. They lived off state privileges. They avoided taxes. They stopped fixing the system and started exploiting it. Rome didn't collapse because elites were stupid. It collapsed because elites stopped caring. Military power became a burden. Rome spent more defending its borders than those borders produced in value. Soldiers were no longer loyal to Rome. They were loyal to whoever paid them. Eventually, Rome hired outsiders to protect itself. The empire didn't fall to invaders. It outsourced its own survival. Faith in the system died. When citizens stopped believing in institutions, laws lose meaning. Rome still had laws, still had emperors, still had ceremonies, but the belief was gone. And once belief collapses, power becomes illusion. China doesn't look at history the way most countries do. In the West, history is treated like a story, interesting, emotional, then forgotten. In China, history is treated like a warning manual. Rome is not a myth there, it is a case study. China studies collapse, not victory. Western powers obsess over how Rome conquered the world. China studies how Rome lost it. Chinese military academies, party schools, and policy circles repeatedly ask, why did Rome expand faster than it could manage? Why did elites lose touch with the population? Why did money decay before borders did? Why did military strength stop working? Rome taught China one core lesson. Expansion without internal stability is suicide. That lesson shaped everything China did next. China built a state that thinks in centuries. Rome collapsed partly because every new leader reversed the previous one. China designed the opposite. Presidents come and go in the West. China designs continuity. Policies don't change every election cycle. Long-term goals survive leadership changes. That's not accidental. China saw that Rome lost coherence when politics became short-term. So China eliminated short-term politics entirely. Whether you agree with it or not, it works for stability. Control over money was non-negotiable. Rome lost control of its currency. China refuses to. China watched Rome debase its coins and learned, so China keeps its banking system state-aligned, limits speculative bubbles, controls capital flows, plans de-dollarization quietly, not emotionally. This isn't about ideology, it's about preventing Rome's mistake. Power is designed, not shown off. Rome loved spectacle, parades, monuments, grand displays. China prefers invisibility. No loud announcements, no dramatic warnings, no constant military flexing. Rome wanted admiration. China wants leverage. That's why China doesn't rush wars. It builds dependencies, trade routes, infrastructure, supply chains. By the time power is visible, it's already irreversible. Collapse is always assumed possible. Here's the most dangerous difference. China believes collapse is inevitable if ignored. America believes collapse can't happen. China constantly asks, what could break us? America asks, who can challenge us? Those are not the same question. America didn't collapse by accident. Rome didn't either. Both followed a pattern so slow, so comfortable, that people living inside it didn't even realize what was happening. Power became a feeling, not a system. Rome reached a point where power stopped being something it managed and became something it felt. America did the same. When you feel unbeatable, you stop questioning yourself. You stop asking hard questions. You stop preparing for decline. Rome believed, no one can replace us. America believes, no one can rival us. History is cruel to that kind of confidence. Expansion replaced stability. Rome expanded faster than it could govern. America expanded influence everywhere. Military bases across the globe, endless commitments, permanent interventions. Security guarantees it can't easily withdraw from expansion feels like strength, until it drains attention, money, and legitimacy. Rome learned too late. America is learning the same lesson, slowly. Elites drifted away from reality. Rome's ruling class stopped living like the people. America's elites did too. Different rules, different consequences, different realities. When leaders no longer experience the outcomes of their decisions, they stop making decisions that protect the system. Rome became disconnected. America is dangerously close. That's not political, that's structural. Money became a tool, not a foundation. Rome debased its currency to solve short-term problems. America prints, not because it's evil, not because it's stupid, because it's easy. Short-term relief always wins over long-term stability, until stability collapses. China noticed this. Rome ignored it. America normalized it. That difference matters. Warning signs were treated as noise. Rome had warnings: rising inequality, military overstretch, political paralysis, loss of institutional trust. America has the same list, but warnings don't feel urgent when markets are up, when technology is booming, when power still looks intact. Rome looked powerful right before it cracked. So did every empire. Every empire collapses after making one silent assumption. Not a dramatic one, not a reckless one, a comfortable one. Rome made it, Britain made it, the Soviet Union made it, and America is making it now. The assumption is simple. We can fix structural problems later. This assumption has ended more empires than war ever did. Power creates delay, and delay creates risk. When a system is powerful, it gains time. That time feels like safety. Rome used its power to delay reform. America uses its power to delay decisions. Debt can wait. Infrastructure can wait. Social trust can wait. Institutional repair can wait. Because nothing is breaking today. That's how decline hides. Short-term control replaces long-term design. Rome solved problems year by year. Crisis by crisis. Emperor by emperor. America does election cycle by election cycle. Policy is no longer designed for decades. It's optimized for quarterly markets. Political survival, short-term stability. China does the opposite. China plans for discomfort now to avoid collapse later. Rome and America both chose comfort first. History punished that choice every time. Complexity is mistaken for strength. Rome became too complex to fix itself. Too many interests, too many exceptions, too many groups dependent on the system staying exactly as it is. America is reaching the same point. Every reform threatens someone powerful. Every correction creates backlash. So the system keeps growing without healing. Growth without repair looks like success until it doesn't. Faith replaces maintenance. This is the most dangerous stage. Rome believed, America believes, but systems don't adapt automatically. They require sacrifice. They require unpopular decisions. They require limits. Empires fall when leaders believe faith can replace maintenance. China studies this phase carefully. America lives inside it. Rome did not fall because it lacked power. It fell because it ran out of choices. Not suddenly, not dramatically, quietly. And this is the moment every empire fears, the point where adjustment becomes harder than denial. Rome's last option, and why it wasn't taken. Near the end, Rome still had options: reduce military commitments, stabilize the currency, reform taxation, decentralize power, but every option required someone to lose: generals, elites, political supporters. So Rome chose delay instead. More debasement, more borrowing, more control. It bought time, but at a price. By the time reform became unavoidable, it was no longer possible. America's window is still open, but narrowing. Here's the uncomfortable truth. America still has options. Rome didn't, but not forever. The US can reduce global overreach, invest domestically before crisis forces it, redesign institutions instead of defending them blindly, accept limits without humiliation. Rome never made those choices willingly. America still can. But every year of delay shrinks the window. The difference between collapse and transformation. Rome collapsed because adjustment came too late. Denial lasted too long. Confidence outpaced reality. Empires that survive do something different. They choose transformation before collapse. Britain did this, painfully, reluctantly, but in time. Rome didn't. Why China's strategy? Feels uncomfortable to the West. China prepares for decline before it arrives. That feels pessimistic, even paranoid. But history rewards pessimism. Rome assumed continuity. China assumes disruption. America still assumes recovery. That assumption decides everything. The real question this video leaves you with: this is not about China winning, not about America losing. It's about whether learning replaces repeating. Rome didn't study fallen empires. It believed it was different. China studies Rome obsessively. America barely mentions it. History doesn't punish nations for weakness. It punishes them for ignoring patterns. Rome fell after it lost flexibility. America is being tested before that moment. Which path it takes is still undecided. But the clock that ended Rome is now ticking for everyone. If this changed how you see history and power, subscribe